Hello, humans. I'm Karyssa.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to New Strangeland.
Hey y'all, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Karyssa.
And welcome to another episode of New
New
Strangeland. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Hey y'all, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Karyssa.
And welcome to another episode of
New
New Strangeland. So today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
Who that bitch? Who she is?
Well, let me tell you. So, Lizzie Borden is infamously known for her arrest and trial for the heinous axe murders of her father and stepmother.
Well, okay.
Yes. She was later arrested and tried for the Grisly murders. Acquitted in 1893.
Excellent.
She continued to live as an ostracized member of the Fall River community until her death on June 1st, 1927. And the case was never solved.
What? I don't know about that, man. We'll sleuth our way into this one.
On the morning of August 4th, 1892, Andrew and Abby Borden were found slaughtered in their home. Their bodies were found with multiple wounds from a hatchet.
Ooh.
In the early hours after the discovery of the bodies, people only knew that the assassin struck the victims at home in broad daylight on a busy street 1 block from the city's busy district.
What?
1 block. Just one.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Just the one.
There was no evidence. There was no evident motive. For example, no robbery or sexual assault. Neighbors and passerby heard nothing. No one saw a suspect enter or leave the Borden property.
Well, who could it be now?
Andrew Borden was not an ordinary citizen. He possessed wealth and standing. He had invested in mills, banks, and real estate. But Andrew had never made a show of his good fortune. He lived in a modest house on an unfashionable street instead of on the quote-unquote hill.
Is that where Lauren Conrad lives?
The hills. The Fall River Hills.
Fall River Hills, Lizzie Borden. Oh my god, do you think they would have been friends? Or I bet she would have axed her too, you know?
Probably.
She would have axed the shit out of Lauren Conrad.
The hill was Fall River's lofty, leafy, silk stocking enclave. Lizzie longed to live on the hill and knew her father could afford it.
But they didn't live there.
No.
I bet, that really salted Lizzie a bit.
She was a salty lady.
Salt.
Salty. Andrew remarried Abby 3 years after Lizzie's mother died. Lizzie referred to her as Mrs. Borden, and it seems like they had a strained relationship. Lizzie believed Abby married her father for his money.
Ooh, I'm saying she a gold digger. Yo, Abby. What's your deal, Abby?
The police first considered a male murderer, probably committed by a foreigner. They first arrested a Portuguese immigrant.
Oh my God, poor guy.
Okay.
That's so terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
We just think that because you're a quote-unquote foreigner, that you did it.
yeah.
So,
Hello, you're not from the United States, so you definitely killed them. Wow, how times have changed.
right? As they continued to question Lizzie, they realized her story wasn't quite adding up. The day of the murder, she claimed she came into the house from the barn and discovered her father's body. Allegedly, she yelled for the maid, Bridget, aka Maggie Sullivan.
I just always associate Maggie with Margaret.
Yeah.
Not okay. Well, if you know any Bridgets who go by Maggie, let us know because I'm interested. Just want to meet one.
Right.
Shake their hand. I guess not in these times of pandemic, but
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
Allegedly she yelled for the maid, Maggie, and sent her to a doctor across the street. Yet she never actually sent the maid anywhere.
She didn't.
No. Other people of her class could not accept that a person like Lizzie would slaughter her parents.
Oh my goodness, clutching pearls. How dare she would never.
With such class. No
Such
way.
class, such breeding, if you will.
But during the interrogation, Lizzie's answers to different police officers shifted, and her inability to summon a single tear aroused police suspicion. Then an officer discovered that Lizzie had tried to purchase deadly prussic acid a day before the murders in a nearby drugstore.
What is prussic acid?
Prussic acid.
Prussic.
Prussic acid is a fancy name for hydrogen cyanide.
Oh, why can't they just say cyanide? Like, why do they have to make it difficult?
It's gonna be fancy because of the high class.
Oh, they're high class.
That
Yes.
prussic acid.
Cyanide, that's for the peasants.
5 days after the murders, authorities started an inquest, and Lizzie took the stand each day. This inquest was the only time she testified in court under oath.
I love how it's called an inquest because it sounds like the Spanish Inquisitions or something. And I feel like, shit's gonna get real religious and oh boy, there's gonna be some torture devices.
Some torture devices?
Yeah. I don't know, Spanish Inquisition, man.
Right?
Fucked up times. Yo, I bet if Lizzie did this during the Spanish Inquisition, she would have been thought a witch or something.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I don't think her class would have saved her.
I don't think so. Witch.
She's a witch!
In addition to the other inconsistencies that police compiled, Lizzie's testimony led her into a web of seemingly self-incrimination. Lizzie did not have a defense lawyer during what was a closed inquiry, but she was not without defenders. The family doctor, who staunchly believed in Lizzie's innocence, testified that after the murders he prescribed a double dose of morphine to help her sleep.
Jesus Christ.
Double dose.
Give me that sleep cocktail, daddy doctor, man. Sleeping for, what, a week after that?
Right? Its side effects, he claimed, could account for Lizzie's confusion.
I mean, plausible. Absolutely. In my opinion. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if morphine from then is different from morphine from now.
I bet you it was.
But I bet it was, pure, heroin. It's morphine. Yeah, it's fine.
You're just gonna sleep for, a month. It's okay.
You're gonna not feel yourself.
Her 41-year-old spinster sister, Emma, who also lived at the home, claimed that the sisters harbored no anger toward their stepmother. Apparently, she was also super flirty with all the men that interrogated her and her doctor. Like, trying to seduce them into believing her innocence.
Ooh, what a sleut.
What a little snooty.
Salty little sleut.
The police investigation and the family and neighbors who gave interviews to newspapers suggested that they had anything but ill feelings toward their stepmother. With her sister Emma 15 miles away on vacation, Lizzie and Maggie were the only ones left at home with Abby and after Andrew left on his morning business rounds. Maggie was outside washing windows when Abby was slaughtered in the second floor guest room, while Andrew Borden was bludgeoned in the first floor sitting room shortly after his return. The maid was resting in her attic room. Unable to account consistently for Lizzie's movements, the judge, district attorney, and police marshal determined that Lizzie was probably guilty.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Lizzie was then served with a warrant, arrested, and jailed on August 11, 1892.
So, like, that's the end of it then, right?
No.
What?
It's not. She was indicted by a grand jury. However, the trial didn't begin until June 1893.
Oh my god, now it's the trial?
Like a whole year later.
Jesus.
Right? The hatchet was discovered by the Fall River police and appeared to have been cleaned of any evidence. A downfall for the prosecution occurred when the Fall River police didn't properly execute collection of the newly discovered forensic fingerprint evidence.
That's so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, to think like in the late 1800s, like, ooh, look it, we have fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
We could use this to find people that did bad things.
Wow, so smart.
I wonder, like who came up with fingerprinting? You know what? Let's look this up later.
Yes.
Who came up with fingerprinting?
And so, no potential prints were lifted from the murder weapon. Although no blood-stained clothing was found as evidence, it was reported that Lizzie tore apart and burned a blue dress in the kitchen stove a few days following the murder because it was covered in baseboard paint.
Wow, that's pretty sus.
Like, when were you painting your baseboards?
Like, why would you burn your dress because you got paint on it? Wouldn't you save it for, like, rags or something for Maggie?
Or, like, if you were gonna keep painting?
Yeah. I don't know. I have shitty painting clothes
Same.
that I hold on to.
Same.
Keep your shitty painting dress.
Due to the lack of evidence and a few excluded testimonies, Lizzie Borden was acquitted for the murder of her father and stepmother.
Oh, okay. Well, that took a turn.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that.
Right?
Fine, I guess.
Okay.
Oh.
Sure.
She definitely did it, but wait. Nah. Not enough evidence, man.
Yeah.
She only burned her dress and, you know.
I mean, like, there was, like, a
couldn't
murder
keep her
weapon.
story straight.
But, like, yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever. Following the trial, Lizzie and her sister Emma resided together in a home for the next few years. However, Lizzie and her sister slowly grew apart and eventually went their separate ways. Once she and her sister separated, she was no longer referred to as Lizzie Borden, but Lisbeth A. Borden.
Lisbeth A. Borden.
Lisbeth A. Borden.
A. Borden.
The last year of Lizzie's life was spent ill. When she finally passed in 1927, the announcement was not made public, and only few attended her burial.
Wow. Well, not surprising. I don't think that she would have that many friends after...
You don't think so?
You know, it also kind of amazes me that she decided to stay in Fall River.
Right?
Like, wouldn't you think, like, you just, like, were publicly dragged for potentially killing your father and stepmother and then acquitted, and I'm assuming, like, the whole town thinks she definitely did it.
Yeah, probably.
But she wants to hang out? Like,
yeah, it's just,
Dude, going to the supermarket must have been real awkward.
Right?
Like, no one's making eye contact with her.
Lizzie Borden.
Oh my god, she totally killed her dad and stepmom. I heard she gave him 40 whacks.
There are many different suggestive theories to determine if Lizzie committed the murders or not. Stories range from the maid committing the murders to Lizzie suffering from fugue state seizures.
Oh.
I also heard that read.
I heard.
I heard.
I took my time machine and I was in on the gossip. I was like, yo, spill the tea.
I read that it was also a possibility that Maggie and Lizzie were having a little...
Ooh, tete-a-tete?
Yes.
Oh.
And, like, I don't think
why would that be, like, a motive?
Maybe somebody found out. Like, maybe her dad found out.
Or the stepmom.
Yeah, the stepmom.
Because they already, like, were
and,
butting
like, back
heads.
then, obviously, it was not as accepted.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Right?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like... We should watch that movie.
I know, we should. Isn't there another one with Christina Ricci, too?
Is there?
I think so.
Heck yeah, sign me up. I love Christina
right?
Ricci.
I totally would watch that.
So is Christina Ricci Lizzie Borden?
I think so.
Okay, good. I think she's good at being creeps.
Yes.
So.
Creeps.
She's got a creeps.
Well, there is no doubt that Lizzie Borden committed the murders. The rhyme is not quite correct.
What?
It's not.
This is false?
It's
my
false.
Poetry, my beautiful poetry?
Right?
This is a farce? This is terrible. Take back everything I said.
64-year-old Abby was Lizzie's stepmother. Because, the rhyme says her mother. So,
yes. Yes. Yeah. True.
And a hatchet, rather than an axe, served as the weapon. And fewer than half the blows of the rhyme actually battered the victims. 19 rained down on Abby, and 10 more rendered 69-year-old Andrew's face unrecognizable.
Hot damn. Those are some, like, that sounds like some, like, very, passionate crime of passion. That's, I don't know. I feel like I'm saying that backwards, but you know what I'm trying to, like, crime of passion of crime. I don't know. Neither sounds correct in my head right now. But it because, like, to just, like, berate someone with a hatchet for 19, I mean, granted it wasn't 40, but
it wasn't 40 whacks.
Nope. It was but a mere 19. But
still quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Like,
I think anything at
all. One is a little much, I would say.
Yeah, but...
But, 19, that's a lot. And then, like, to have, like, her father's face, like...
literally, like...
axed so he's unrecognizable. Like, when she axed him... She axed him. She axed her daddy. Like, she was full of rage. She had to have been.
Yeah.
Like, Papa, I'm cutting off your face.
Yep.
And I'm going to wear it.
I know. And, like, I mean, obviously, it was probably just things leading up. The fact that, like, he got remarried. They didn't live in, like, the bougie part of town.
Yeah.
And maybe he caught her in an act of, something with the maid.
Lizzie sounds like a spoiled brat. I'm not gonna lie.
Does.
Like, she sounds like a complete, like, narcissist, spoiled little bitch.
Right? Yeah.
Like, Daddy won't buy me this. Oh my god.
So I'm gonna kill him.
I'm gonna kill him. Oh my god, he'd be married.
I hate my stepmom.
Oh my god.
But it could have been the maid. You never know.
Like, that killed him?
Yeah. What if it was the maid? Like, I'm not saying that Lizzie wasn't in on it.
Well, okay. My only thing with it not being the maid is because of class status. Like, you would think, why would Lizzie take the fall for the maid?
But she didn't take the fall for the maid.
No, but, like, she still got put through the ringer by, like, being put on trial and stuff.
Yes, that's true.
Like, why wouldn't she just be like, finger point, she did it? Like...
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless they were lovers.
Right.
And she did do it, the maid did do it, and Lizzie was like, yeah, they'll put me on trial because I'm, like, fancy girl and I won't get charged.
Could, yeah.
Ooh. The plot thickens.
Yeah, that could definitely very well have happened.
Dude, I don't know. That doctor dude, too, like, why is he so, like, smitten? Like, he, like, went to bat for her right away.
Right.
Being like, oh, no, she's fine. She didn't do anything. I've known her, like, forever. No.
I don't know.
Maybe he was in on it, too.
Maybe.
Maybe they were a trio.
Ooh, to get, like, the dad's money?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, did it ever say if, like, her and her sister inherited the money?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much it was? Like, or like what the ratio from now to then? Or, I mean, like, I guess it's just like rich.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that she did end up moving out of the house.
Okay. Yeah, wait, isn't the Lizzie Borden house? It's now used as, like, a bed and breakfast or something. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Oh, my God, we should go stay. I wonder how much it is. I bet it's super expensive because it's probably, like, super touristy.
Probably.
Especially now.
I think that... Didn't I recently see that it was, like, for sale? Didn't I tag you in that?
Oh, that was the house that her and her sister moved into.
Oh,
that's on sale.
Okay.
But oh my gosh,
I thought it was like the real house.
No, that was their secondary house, which we should totally link into our show notes so you guys can see like how fancy this house is.
Super fancy.
It's like a gorgeous Victorian house that's probably also going to be turned into a bed and breakfast.
I think they said that or like a museum type thing in the article.
Interesting. I want to know, like, people that because I feel like whenever I see, like, those real fancy Victorian houses, that they're typically only ever used for, like, bed and breakfasts or, like, some sort of, like, walk-through museum.
Yeah.
And I want to go into one that, like, people are actually living in. So, anyways, Fall River, Massachusetts.
Fall River,
kid. I've driven past Fall River because I had a cousin that went to a college in Dartmouth, Mass, which is right next to Fall River. So I drove past the exit. And I said, Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
And then
Fall River.
Then I got off the next exit.
Yeah. I feel like I've driven past it. I mean, do you drive past it to go to, like, Rhode Island or stuff and whatever?
Yeah. No, you definitely do. Like, depending on, like, how you go to Rhode Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on how you go.
I think... I definitely think I've driven past the sign.
Yeah, but
the exit.
I don't know. It's so funny because I feel like a lot of the places that we are doing research on and are interested in, it's like we've never been there except for like one. Yeah. The amount of homebodiness is...
Well, and it's hard too because obviously like now we can't really go everywhere.
No, yeah. Oh, especially like Well, I mean, Fall River's not in Rhode Island, but it's right next to Rhode Island. And I know, like, a little bit ago, they were literally, like, cops at the border just ticketing people the second you left Rhode Island, like $500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they were on lockdown.
Oh.
Yeah. Yikes.
Like, even if you go into Rhode Island, too?
No, you could go into Rhode Island, but it was leaving. So I believe, like, the Massachusetts police, state troopers, what have you, were ticketing.
Mass was ticketing. I thought you meant Rhode Island. I gotcha.
Anyways, lockdown ain't no joke, man.
No. I mean, obviously, like, with kids and working and stuff, like, it's hard to do things, but also
we
COVID.
could just stop sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, we could just stop sleeping.
Who needs to sleep anymore? It's fine.
I mean, I've always said if I just didn't have to sleep, I would get so much done.
Oh, yeah. If not sleeping was a superpower, sign me up.
Yep.
Because I would use that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was to just watch YouTube videos all night long.
Same.
I bet I would do that. I would do nothing constructive. I'd be like, look at all this time I got now.
Right.
And then I would fall into a YouTube hole watching videos about Lizzie Borden.
Yep. No, I would do the same. I mean, it's not like I don't do that now. It's just like I feel real guilty about it, and then I am tired the next day.
And then I'm tired.
And then I'm tired. And I regret my decision completely.
But, you know, do you really regret it completely?
Okay, maybe not completely, but a little bit.
All the useless knowledge that you gain from going down those rabbit holes is priceless.
I know. But do you really retain it?
I retain it in some weird way.
I know you do. I can't say much about me. I try to retain everything, but I feel like you are just like, you have this own like Nikki encyclopedia in your brain.
I know, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I like, my boss says the same thing about me. Because like, she'll be like, oh, do you remember this thing from 3 months ago? And I'll be like, oh yeah. And I'll rattle off everything. She's like, what? How'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I just remembered it. I remember the thing.
I remember the thing. And I don't know. It's not like I don't do that. I do that with certain things. But then there are just certain things where I'm like, I could watch that 10 times and still be like, I don't remember what that said.
What? It's like when you read and like you're reading the same paragraph over and over again.
Oh, that's me reading every time.
And
then I like,
where am I?
Skim pages. And then I'm like, wait, okay, so I just skimmed page 3 and 4. And I'm on 5. But what happened?
It's like when you're driving and all of a sudden you're home and you're like, how did I get here? And you're like, that's terrifying because I was in a moving vehicle.
Right.
And I just went on autopilot.
Yeah, complete autopilot.
Oh my god. No. Anyways.
Anyway.
Any hoozles and whatzels. So, Lizzie Borden.
Back to the story.
Lizzie Borden, I don't know. So, you definitely think that she did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, not a doubt.
Yeah.
Or, like, she was involved in some way.
Yes, like, totally involved. If it wasn't her, it was the maid. Maybe the doctor was involved, but I just find it hard to believe that it wasn't Lizzie Borden.
She wasn't involved in some capacity.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder, like, because it said that, like, her sister was 15 miles away at the time, so she wasn't around. Do you think that if her sister was home, that she still would have done this or been involved in this somehow?
Or would she have killed her sister?
Yeah, would she have also killed her sister? And I think that if her sister was there and she also killed her sister, I feel like that would have, like, kind of been like a real cincher of her getting found guilty. I'm sorry, I forgot words.
Right.
Of her being found guilty, because it's just like, well, why would the maid like literally kill this whole family except for Lizzie Borden?
Right.
While everyone's home.
Right. No, definitely.
So, Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and it like wasn't even like she had a real alibi or anything. She was home.
Yeah, she said she was in the barn.
She,
And I think, like, the timeline of, like, what I read is that it could have happened literally 10 minutes before Lizzie found her dad,
Damn.
apparently. And it's like,
yo.
within 10 minutes you were in the barn and somebody axed your family.
Yeah.
Come on. While the maid was sleeping.
Yeah, I don't even think Hannibal Lecter is that quick.
Yeah.
So, I watched a lot of Hannibal.
And that's, like, even more, like, okay, so the maid was sleeping. Okay, maybe her stepmother was sleeping and she, like, you know.
Like, no one cried out at all.
Right.
Neither her stepmom or her father.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's hard to believe.
But, I mean, they did say it was broad daylight. No, neither, like, passerby, like, you know. I don't know, man.
I don't know, maybe it's just, like, those, like, also, like, New England people have that weird coldness to them, and they, like, don't like to, like, I feel like neighbors don't like to get into each other's shit.
That's true.
They,
That's
like,
very true.
literally ignore you.
I don't really talk to my neighbors.
I don't either. I'm terrible. And I try to be nice, and especially to this one neighbor who is seemingly very sweet. And every time I see them outside, like, I do, like, that awkward wave, like, but then, like, they don't look when I'm waving, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna put my hand down now.
Or, like, this one time, so we have, like, a couple of houses down. There's a couple that's, like, probably around our age.
Yeah.
And Sean and I never actually met the guy or his wife. I'm assuming they're married. I don't know. But he was out back in his yard, and Sean was kind of over by the driveway in the yard. And there was, like, this exchange of words. I don't know what. Can't remember. But the way that they both ended this was so awkward. It was God. Like, the guy just had, like, his hands on his hips, and I think maybe they both did, and they just were, like, it was just all of a sudden the conversation stopped, and they were just looking up at the trees, and they kind of just, like, Sean just kind of, like, turned and, like, kind of walked away, and then I was watching this, like, you couldn't say, like,
have a good one.
Have a good one. Yeah. Talk to you later. Like,
I love you.
I was like, that was the most awkward thing I've ever witnessed.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Right? And I don't know, it's weird with neighbors too, because I feel like they'd be people that we'd get along with, you know?
Yeah. But then, like, you don't want to seem like it's a forced situation. Like, right? Oh, we're gonna be friends because we're neighbors.
Right.
You know?
But then, like, I hear, like, they have, like, friends over in their yard, and, like, they sound like they're having fun.
They're having
fun. I'm like...
I like fun.
I know. And then we've gone out, like, with the boys, and they're like, oh my God, they're getting so big. And I'm like, yeah, they are. I don't know your name. Hi.
Just be like, hey, by the way, I'm Karyssa.
I know. I need to do that, but I never actually, like, if I see them, I'm pulling in the driveway, and I'm not gonna, like, walk down the driveway and, like, go into their yard one house down and be like, hi, my name's Karyssa. And I think that, like, the dude calls Sean Shane.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I'm like, whatever. I'm like, and Sean's like, I never corrected him.
And then, so he's just, oh my God, I hope you guys become friends. And he just keeps up that he's Shane.
I couldn't do that. I'd be like,
for
dude,
as
no.
As long as you can.
I'd be like, no, I'm sorry. That's not Shane. It's Sean.
Or like he sees Sean like write his name and he's just like, I thought your name was Shane. And Sean's like, yeah, it's just pronounced Shane.
Oh
spelled Sean.
It's scene.
It's scene.
Scene.
I mean...
Oh, neighbors.
Neighbors are weird. So anyways, yeah, that's probably why a neighbor didn't hear, because we were all like, we're minding our own business over here. Yeah. I don't know. I heard someone cry out. Not my problem. Bye.
Well, even my cousin. So Emily... Oh my gosh, this is off topic. But whatever.
Oh, weird.
Whatever. I mean, like, not off topic. It's the topic of neighbors, but not Lizzie Borden. Whatever. Maybe it could have been, but...
Oh, I broke one of your elastics and it just went flying across the room. So now I'm casually sitting here like I didn't do anything.
What did I do? Well, okay, so Emily apparently got locked in her bathroom. So the doorknob, one side, came off. And Austin I think he put it in the bath. No, he didn't put it in the bathroom. He left it outside the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And then Austin fell asleep while she was showering.
No.
And so she's like, she realized it. I think it was before she hopped in the shower. It wasn't after. Mm-hmm. But she was like, well, I'm stuck here. I'm just going to shower. Yeah. And then maybe by that time he'll
wake up.
And she was like, screaming his name, trying to get him. He was not waking up. And so she's like, she lives in center Manchester, not in a great neighborhood, but there's people walking by, and apparently she saw her neighbors too in the window, in their window, and she's in a towel and in the bathroom, and she's trying to be like, hi, help me, and they just apparently ignored her completely.
Oh, no.
And
we're assholes here in New England, huh? Right? Oh my god.
What if she was what if the house was on fire?
Yeah, what if there was a murderer trying to kill her?
Oh my gosh. And you're just a neighbor and you look in your window and you turn around.
You're like, nope, didn't see anything.
Well, so there was, I think, a woman and a man walking by. And I don't know what their occupations were, what they were doing in the streets, where, if they even lived around there, but they were walking by, and Emily was like, hi, can you help me? Can you help me? And the lady goes, do you have a cigarette?
No.
And Emily's like, yeah, but not in my bathroom. I'm stuck in my bathroom. Can you just go ring the doorbell? And she's like, and I'll promise I'll give you some. No. And so finally, they, rang the doorbell. Austin finally woke up, and I guess Emily gave her, a few cigarettes, but it's just funny. The lady, Emily's in a towel, stuck in the bathroom. And she's like, I need help. Can you ring the door? Do you have a cigarette? Yes, let me just pull it out of my towel.
Oh, no. Poor Emily.
So, yeah. So, but yes, neighbors suck.
They do. So, you know what? If the Bordens had better neighbors, I bet, this case would have been cracked.
Probably.
So, if you're living in New England, let's try to be a better neighbors.
Better neighbor.
Because you don't know when someone's getting axe murdered next to your house,
Right? Why can't I think of his name? The nice old man on the TV show that we used to watch. Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Let me be your neighbor.
Let me be your neighbor and make sure that you're not getting axe murdered.
Yes.
All right. Daniel Tiger.
Daniel Tiger. Oh, Daniel Tiger.
Oh, love it. Love it. Yeah.
But yeah, so that concludes our Lizzie Borden story.
Yeah, it's something.
Something.
I hope you guys learned something today.
I hope so. And I have to also say that I do apologize for my really squeaky chair that is in my podcast. If you hadn't noticed,
I love it. I think it adds to the ambiance. It lets people know that we're real.
Right?
You know? Like, we're like J-Lo. I'm real.
I'm real. And also the staticky noises that comes from the little baby monitor I have.
Definitely forgot to turn it off, and we both didn't notice. I literally thought it was the blood in my ears this whole time. I was just like, wow, I can really hear my blood rushing in my ears.
I think I'm just so like immune to the sound that I don't notice it.
Oh man. Well, anyways, we'll try to be better. But if you've stuck with us thus far, we appreciate you.
Yes, we totally appreciate
and
you.
We will do these things for your better listening pleasure.
Unless you like it, we'll keep it.
Yeah, if you like it, then
I can't actually like tell you if I'm gonna get a new chair, but I just wanted to let you know that's what that was.
Well, maybe we could just like squirt it. We can just squirt it. That's what I'm trying to say, with a little WD-40.
Maybe. I don't know. Tighten little.
Is there a
few
little
loose screws?
Little knobby. It's not the only thing that's got loose screws in here.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Okay. Anyways,
I think we need to end this.
Thank you guys so much for putting up with our bullshit. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
So, yeah, if you want to continue listening to us, please subscribe. And we're, as always, we're on, iTunes. Oh, we're on iHeartRadio now. Finally. That only took like 10 months. I don't know.
10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
But yes, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on Spotify, and we usually upload to YouTube as well, but I think we forgot to upload last week's video to YouTube.
No, I think I did.
Did you? Oh,
I ended up. It was just
okay.
because it had to process. It took forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure it's up there.
We covered our bases. And you can also find us on Twitter. We post nothing on Twitter. But you can follow us. Just in case. Just in case.
Just in case.
In case you missed something. And you can follow us on our Instagram as well, which we're a bit more active on there.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, we like to share funny memes to our stories. That's basically it. Also, you can email us at newstrangelandpodcast@gmail.com. Any questions, comments, topics that you'd like us to touch on, or, if you're a cool podcaster that wants to collab or something.
Yeah, or anything, like any info that you have.
Yeah.
Like maybe we didn't add into our story that you think we might like to know.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll cover it on the next week's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and also, if you have any awkward neighbor stories, please send them to us.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to hear your awkward neighbor story.
Yes, please.
So, as always, slip and slide into our DMs.
Slide into them. Slurp into them.
Whop into our DMs.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was too much. Or was it? I don't know. But I'm Nikki.
And I'm Karyssa.
And thanks for visiting New Strangeland.